What's involved in diagnosing ADHD? Because there's not a blood test or an x-ray that it'll show up on.
No, and that is one of the biggest misconceptions. And it makes sense why it is a misconception too, because a lot of people think like there's a brain test, right? Or a brain scan or a blood test, because it is a neurodevelopmental disorder, which means there are differences in the brain that develop and that you can see from a young age. And then they are still there over time. You would think if there are differences in the brain, why can't we just look at somebody's brain and say, do you have ADHD or not? But it's so varied in how it can look. So actually, the most effective way to diagnose ADHD is through a combination of like meeting somebody and interviewing with them to hear more about like your background, your history, what your childhood was like, how these symptoms show up, and then often completing what we call like questionnaires or assessments or standardized questionnaires that will help determine like these inattentive symptoms or hyperactive symptoms you're experiencing. Are they related to ADHD or something else? And also, are they like considered typical? So with all of these symptoms, right? They are something that everybody experiences, but there's a level at which it becomes much different. And so these questionnaires, they help us understand how often you're experiencing them. Is it something that just happens once in a blue moon, or are you losing things every single week, multiple times a week? So looking at those pieces is really important.